All right, we're gonna see me. Okay, so today's presentation is not my face frozen on Facebook, but it is creating joy behind the chair without burnout or losing clients, right? Like, because like most of the times that we're doing things, it's not really for the tangible result. We're doing it because we're following a feeling. And the feeling for most of us is a sense of joy. And joy is something deeper than happiness. Joy is something that you really feel inside of your being and your body, right? It's feeling like you're really going all in on you. And I know in the beginning of my journey, I had to start to look at my business energetically and just kind of look at all the ways that things were not actually working. And it's so interesting because your body has um, so much divine messages to give to you. And yet we can totally have a disconnect from our own body. And I'm saying this because there were so many aspects of the way that I used to do business back then, and I knew in my body that it was wrong, but I kept doing it because I was told over and over and over again, this is the only pathway to being quote unquote successful. This is the only pathway to doing it the right way. This is the only pathway to feeling justified to raise your prices, or this is the only pathway to doing your business, right? And I want to share a couple of touch points for you to begin to work on today, right? And give you some quick action steps so that you can get quick wins. And the first thing that I invite you to do is to stop double booking. Obviously, stop undercharging as well. But the first thing, if you did anything today, like I would want you to stop double booking because people will absolutely pay for your presence. And when I even outsourced when I was double and triple booking with my clients, and I would outsource them to an apprentice and an assistant, even when they're amazing, because I had worked with so many amazing apprentices throughout my time. I noticed that it wasn't me, right? And that ultimately my client's experience would suffer. And it's not because the apprentice sucked at all whatsoever. It was because my client was paying for me. They were paying for my energy. They were paying for my time and my presence. And when I was outsourcing them to an apprentice, it wasn't the same no matter what. And then I realized I had to boss up and actually just book one-on-one services, stop double booking, but actually charge more so that they could get more, right? And people will pay for that. Like you're right, the right clients will stay with you and they will pay. And I think about it like, people get really hung up on raising their prices. They get really scared. They think that they have to fool their clients and only do $5 or $10 because that way it's still being like nice girl, good girl behavior, and like it won't scare their clients. But like the thing is, like the right kind of client is going to be okay with like a $10 increase or like a $25 increase. And it's fine. A lot of it has to do with you. And I think about it like, like your services, no matter where you're living right now and what you're charging, are a luxury. And people can absolutely pay for your luxury and they don't need you. Like they don't need a haircut, right? Like we were sent to our rooms, during COVID for many months, and people had to cut their own hair for a very long time. So they could absolutely cut their own hair at home, but they choose not to because they want to be taken care of. And that's ultimately why they are seeing you, because they want that experience of being taken care of and having a quality service and a quality experience. And the metaphor that I use is indoor plumbing, right? Your clients don't need indoor plumbing, but they want it, so they pay for it. And it's the same thing with you. And being able to have confidence in your experience allows you to feel worthy of going beyond the $5 raise that you do once a year. Some other metrics that may apply to you are stop doing bang trims for free. Like stop doing them for free. Like they don't necessarily have to be on your menu. You can have your existing clients email you when it's time for a bang trim and charge, $25, $50 for them, but stop doing bang trims for free. Your time, like everything that's on your book should be paid for unless it's a follow-up or a redo or something that you want to tweak within 7 days. This is a huge one. And this was something that I even grew into, which is stop doing express haircuts. Express haircuts are really whole haircuts dressed up as scarcity. Because half the time when I would have clients come in for I have a background in Divashan and Arrojo and Weedot, and I love curly hair, and I'm still learning more and more and more around curly hair. That you used to have your client come up with like clean, dry curls, and you would do a dry cut, and then you do a cleanse, and then you would tweak everything at the end, right? And so you would think, okay, cool, I will have my curly hair client or my shag haircut client just come in and get, an express haircut. But here's the thing, then what would happen, I'm serious, like 75% of the time, is then they would say, oh, and then like, can you just like dust my ends? And oh, like, and then like the layering back here is like feeling a little heavy. So then you're basically doing a whole haircut, but you're just dressing it up as a express haircut, and you're charging half as much. Stop doing consultations for free. And I don't know if this is you and you identify as this, but your clients are capable, they are responsible, they have more than enough money, they are resourceful, they love paying you, and when they pay you, it doesn't make them more poor. And I think that some of the stinking thinking around these money blocks that are actually so much to do with us actually than our clients, and we start doing things like this, in order to maybe emotionally manipulate them in order to get them to stay with us, right? And it's really fucked up actually, and it's a lot of it has to do with us being really afraid to stand in our power. And I really want people to stop that shit. And part of that even comes down to the consultation, having a proper consultation. I have many people who really love to have jot form consultations because they work at home, for example. Like during the pandemic, they opened up their own salon in their own home. And so for safety reasons, they want to do a jot form consultation, and that's all fine and good. I still think that nothing replaces like a human being with you in person to actually like look and feel their energy and feel their hair and get a sense of their style and get a sense of their vibe. And that is something that should be paid for. And even if they don't get a service with you, they should still pay for it, because you're giving them your professional opinion that you have spent thousands of dollars and years to have that knowledge and wisdom and come up with a really educated roadmap for what they could do or what is possible for them going forward, right? And I know that there are times where you feel like you can't charge for that space, and that is potentially a time for you to lean into improving at the consultation, showing up with the energy of somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. But the right client really loves it, and they will absolutely pay more for that kind of personalized attention, where you have a roadmap for them, where you really take them in. You ask them, what do you love about your hair? What do you not love about it? What are some challenges that are you having? Well, run me through your lifestyle. Like how often are you cleansing? Like what products are you using? Like how do you want to feel? Right? How often do you want to come in? Like if you could wave a magic wand over your routine and your maintenance, what would that look like, Sally? Like those are a lot of really cool questions. Like that could be a deep dive into like 15-20 minute consultation. We haven't even talked about fucking energy healing yet, right? And and I'm going to use an example of one of my students. Kay was really afraid to raise her prices, and after working with me in Becoming Light, now she charges on average about $233 an hour, while working 22 hours a week. So before, she was working closer to like 30 something hours a week, and it was probably closer to 150 an hour. And she's still making slightly more, like about like $600 more. But it was worth it for her to work less and charge more, so that she could have more time to go on vacation. She was able to spend a week in Puerto Rico so that she could spend time with her partner, so she could spend time with her friends or family, or just be, right? Like there's something so wonderfully delicious about the feminine energy of just being, right? Like not constantly doing everything for everybody else, serving everybody else, and just being. The second benchmark for you is adding in holistic healing services. And if you have a Reiki background, if you have a background in any healing at all whatsoever, or if you want to give extra hand massage or head massage, or you have a background in the tarot, like what would it look like if you started to weave those things into your client experience? Because when I started this journey, again, it was not strategic. It was this level of excitement because I had discovered something that I didn't know about before, and it seemed ridiculous. But then I experienced it, and it really changed my life. And that's why I hand down everything that I have to my students, because it really can change your life as well as change your business and change the impact that you have on your clients. Um, so if you start to just come from a level of excitement, even though you have imposter syndrome, you feel like you don't like know what you're doing, or you're afraid that all your clients are going to leave you. But if you come from that space of fear, then you are going to attract more fear, right? Like if you're coming from a place of genuine care and genuine excitement and genuine enthusiasm and joy, your clients will feel that, right? It's the same thing like your clients can feel when you do a shitty shampoo and when you actually put your heart and mind into it. They feel that, right? Like the greatest energy is love always. Um, and one of my clients, Jen, added a service. She started to apply, one of my healing techniques that I teach inside Becoming Light during the certification. And she was able to create such a high value experience for her clients as a salon owner, while only increasing the appointment time by 15 minutes. And that's great, because if you only have to maybe like stretch out your times by like 10 or 15 minutes, but then add like so much value, like beyond just hair, and really achieve like a serious like inside result for somebody, just that's amazing. So think about like what healing gifts maybe you already have available, or maybe that ones that you want to hone in on. Like think about what could you do to help your clients in a non-superficial soul level, while also giving yourself more joy without double booking clients, right? Because the only reason that we double book clients is because we want to make more money. And then my third benchmark for today for you is market authentically on social media. And you are in relationship with your clients. You are in an avoidant relationship with them. You are in an intimate relationship with them. You are in an anxious relationship with them. Like one of those is true. And maybe it's different each day of the week, right? Like maybe there's one day where you feel really safe and intimate and you're resonant, and the other days you're just like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. And then there's other days where you're kind of anxious and you don't even know what to do, and you feel like so perfectionist and overwhelmed. And I invite you to get out of the perfectionist zone and quit trying to make the most perfect reels of your hair transformations. If you did one thing today, I invite you to post your face. Talk about your hero's journey. Reintroduce yourself. Reintroductions are really important. Talk to your clients talk to them like they're meeting you for the first time. I think that we take it for granted. Then we think that our clients just already know our story. They already know all about us. They know all about our specialties. They know everything about us, that we're just so bored and we can't repeat ourselves. And the truth is, like, keep repeating yourself and repeat your story and repeat who you are, or add some copy sparkle. If you have reintroduced yourself in the past and written that post, drag it up again and maybe add some copy sparkle to it. And post your face, right? Like a lot of times people refrain from posting their face because maybe they think like the photo's not good enough, it's not perfect enough. They start to get into this like over tweaking, over perfectionist moment. But people don't really care like about if you have perfect makeup on or all of that stuff. People just like seeing faces. There's something that happens in our neural pathways when we see faces, which is why it's kind of a bummer when I look on social media accounts and I can tell that somebody has a visibility problem when it's just all of their clients and it's like side profiles and back profiles of the hair. And then maybe it's like, I don't know, a picture of some flowers, and then it's like a picture of some food, and then it's a picture of the salon space, but it's just like, I don't see a face at all. And then there's a logo as the profile photo. And not that logos are a bad thing per se, but if I don't see any faces, I'm like, what's going on? And if you're finding yourself identifying with some of these moments, um, it really is time to bring in some mantras. Like what I had to share is so valuable. Like start really training yourself to think about your thoughts as valuable, and what I have to share is really valuable. And when you start to come from that space, then you're sharing from your heart. And when you're sharing from your heart, that's a resonance that it doesn't matter what strategy you have, like people are going to feel that. And this way you begin to unfuck that perfectionism out of you, so you can stop second guessing your marketing or copying what everybody else is doing. Like it's really important, if you are constantly consuming hairdressers content and then you feel insecure about yourself and then you're not posting, like that's a problem. So I think you should mute or unfollow some of those hairdressers if it's actually getting in the way of you sharing yourself, because your face is really valuable. And if you're feeling called to become a healer and really integrate this into your business, there are many, 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 many more people who don't even know about you in your town, in your community, who live 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, half a country away from you, and they need you. 99% of your clients haven't even met you yet. And I want you to allow yourself just to like believe that and like trust that. Right. And if you follow coaches or educators and you're looking at their social media and you're copying what they're doing, I would invite you to stop doing that, because what they're doing is a totally different strategy and it's a different way of speaking. Whereas you are talking to your clients, you're talking to your tribe, you're talking to your people. And you want to talk to them from like a place of intimacy, like they're in the living room with you, not, I have to be this like super coachy educator person and talk about, the color formula I'm using, or certain haircutting terminologies that your clients don't give a rip about, right? If you want to call in more clients, talk to your clients. Don't talk to the hairdressers unless you're looking to call in hairdressers, right? It's just something to think about. My invitation to you, if you've been taking social media breaks, is go record something today and post it to your social, and share it to your stories, right? Like stories go away within 24 hours, so they're not permanent. And feel free to tag me at Becoming Ceremony so I can see that you took brave, messy action. I think that most of you won't do this, which means, are you ready to call in that level of visibility? And that's okay if the answer is no, but it's something to be aware of, right? Like if you have been ghosting on your marketing, you've been inconsistent, you made one offer and then you got pissed that nobody bought. Well, I mean, like you kind of have to make the offer multiple times. Like we live in a digital world with so much happening that people are thinking about themselves. So you have to like make more offers and just keep showing up and being consistent, right? So it's just a question to ask yourself, oh yeah, like, am I actually ready to do the thing that's gonna allow me to call in the kind of abundance and joy that I actually say that I want? Am I willing to do the thing, right? Because it's more important that you do the thing and you do it fucking messy than stay in your head, not do the thing and think, I'm gonna do it later. Because later isn't perfect either. So it's really about you and really wanting to show up for yourself in a big way. Like it's a huge reason why we do so much inner work. It's a huge reason why when you guys get on calls with myself or my team, you resonate with the healing your vessel in order to receive more out of all the pillars, because you're like, oh fuck, like I do have that block around money. I do have that block around visibility. I do have like some weird fucked up energy with some of my clients maybe, or I do recognize that I want more. Like I want more for my family, I want more for myself. I want to help people, right? Like it doesn't have to be that way. If you really want to design the business of your dreams and you're really interested in healing, like you can absolutely do it this way, no matter where you live, no matter where you are. Like a lot of the blocks that you might be feeling, or there maybe we'll just label it resistance, that can be cleared, you know, and you can do so much more. So I want to leave you with that hope today. because let me tell you, after hearing some stories from some of my clients recently, and also hearing some stories from some of my students, what I know to be true is that, gosh, we can get really into a lot of fear around like money, or like this idea of like recession and war and all this stuff, but really and truly, like, we're here for a short amount of time. Like, time is our one resource that we don't get back. So I want you to make yours as impactful as possible. Okay. So that's today's training for today. It was more of a somber tone today. There's no trance today, but I'm going to leave the link in the comments section for you guys who are ready to take action now. And you can book a call with my team for an empathic hairdresser blueprint session. I will leave the document also in the comments of this live. And with that, have a beautiful day, you guys.